Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera Show. I have got such a treat for you today. We are going to treat your pocketbook. You know, so many of us are struggling at the grocery store. You're saving for a family vacation. You might want to do a redo at your house. And we're trying to be very budget friendly with our meals. So today I'm going to give you all kinds of tips on how you can make that happen. And one of the things that I love to think about is planning is key. Even if it's Sunday afternoon and you sit there and you think about what I could make all week for the family for the meals, and then you prepare your grocery list from those ideas of what your menus will be each night. Believe it or not, it'll keep you from just randomly picking things as you walk through the grocery store. So we're making 4 recipes today. We're going to start with taco soup, which is a real family-friendly meal, and you might have some left over, which would be helpful too. Then we're going to move into a chicken noodle soup, one of the ones that we do with our young people in our camp program. They absolutely love it. And then what about a cheeseburger pot pie? This really reminds you of the hamburger. It even looks like the hamburger. So I think you'll love that recipe as well. And then company cornbread is a really unique cornbread recipe. So we've got quite a bit to do. Let's get started with the taco soup. So taco soup is just a real star of our Saturday camp programs. Throughout the fall and a couple of times in the winter, we do Saturday camps with the young people here in Augusta, and we serve lunch and they set the table and make all kinds of recipes and crafts, and this is one of the recipes that they absolutely love. We'll run into people throughout the year and they'll say, we just make that taco soup all the time. So this will be in our next cookbook, Generations. And you can use either beef or ground turkey. And so for us, most of the time with the young people, we actually use the turkey. So this is oil in the pan, and I'm just gonna get this cooked down. This is lean ground turkey, so just depending on your preference as to which one of them you like, and you might wanna try both from time to time just to kind of get a different twist on it. So that's browning up nicely. And I'm actually using my induction cooktop, and the pans that you use on this cook surface have to accept a magnet for it to work properly. But a lot of times when you use a pan that's enamel coated, even though the magnet will stick to it, you might want your temperature to be a little bit higher because it does take a moment for the pan to heat up. But this is browning up. So now I'm going to put in my Schumann Farm sweet onions. And you know, we're very proud of this onion in our state of Georgia, and we use them all the time, and it's just a great flavor. These are going to just blend in with the turkey really well, and we want to get those nice and translucent, so that'll take just a minute. All right, so the hardest part about this recipe is opening up all the cans, believe it or not. So we've got some really wonderful ingredients that are going to go in there. This is diced tomatoes. One of the things that I want you to notice is that these are all undrained. Your liquid to make this into a soup is the liquid that is in the can. All right, then I've got black beans. Whole kernel corn. So that's a really nice ingredient as well. And then I've got pinto beans. So it's just like a taco, except you eat it with a spoon. All right, so let me stir this around. And you know, this is about 8 servings on this. And so if you've got a family of 4, this might be lunch for another day, or the rest of it could go in the freezer. It freezes really well. So I've got ranch dressing mix and taco seasoning. All right, so we're trying to be cost effective here. So if you'll look at our grid, you'll see that we've got all the average pricing of making this all the way down to each can, how much the turkey is, if you decide to use ground beef. And your prices are going to vary. There are certain grocery stores that'll have specials on things like ground beef or turkey. The big box stores, of course, sell in larger quantities, but then your cost per serving goes down. So it's just a matter of what you've got access to. But just keep in mind that this is a dish that is very economical, that's very tasty. It does it the way that we're going to garnish it at the end and present it is very attractive. So this is a wonderful dish for the entire family. All right, so when we come back from the break, we're going to get started on chicken noodle soup, which is completely different from this, but it's also a real favorite for us. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining me, I'm helping your pocketbook today. We are doing recipes that are very cost effective, and this is very helpful certain times of year for many people when they're planning a vacation or maybe they're doing a renovation to their home and you're trying to cut back. And you don't want to lack quality in what you're serving your family. So we've come up with some great recipes that are very cost effective. We know for a fact that they're family friendly because we make them in the summertime and during our weekend camps with our children here in Augusta, and they all love these recipes. And you know, honestly, who doesn't love a good bowl of chicken noodle soup? So we do. All right, so I've got my oil in my Dutch oven, and I've got this heat on about medium. And so in advance, I peeled my carrot and then I cut coins. And if the carrot is really big, you might want to cut some of the pieces in half. You want it to be, you know, a good size to actually go on your spoon and in your mouth. So these take a little bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and add those in and just get those beginning to get started. And you see a few of them I did cut in half. But these are, you know, this is a really good part of this dish to me. And then again, I've got my Schumann Farms sweet onions. I'll add those in as well. And you know, the recipe for this is going to be in our new cookbook, Generations. And when you think about the recipes that bring comfort to you or things that you remember special occasions, or for example, Thanksgiving, we all look forward to that one or two dishes that we look forward to every single year. So that's what we've tried to portray in this book, is things that bring back memories, maybe the memories of the actual dish or the memories of the person that made it that you love so much. Okay, I'm gonna add in my minced garlic. And this is done with the garlic press with the garlic bulb. And so, you know, depending on the age of the child that might be making this with you, you know, just keep in mind what they could do. Like they could pour into the bowl and you could be doing the stirring. So there's just a lot of teaching opportunities in a recipe like this. And now I've got my diced celery. And then I love to just use the box chicken broth for this particular recipe because it calls for 8 cups and each of these is 4 cups. And it actually pours very easily. So this could also be something else that your young person could do, would be to add this ingredient as well. And if you don't use it all, you just put the lid back on it if you're making something else, and it can go right back in the refrigerator. So I'm going to turn that heat up a little bit now. Add the other box. And these are the things that, like I said, in the cost analysis on this, you're really looking at, you know, anywhere from $10 to $12 to make this entire pot of soup based on where you go shopping. So, you know, when we get to the chicken, one of the things that I like to talk about is that, you know, you can buy the rotisserie chickens and really save money. And also time. That's also very important. You know, for many of us, we're all so busy. There's sports activities, just all kinds of things that keep you from being able to do everything exactly the way that you normally would. All right, so now I'm going to add in my soy sauce. And then the egg noodles are good. And then I've got a bay leaf. All right, so we're gonna let this come to a boil. It's gonna cook for about 8 minutes, And then I'll add the rotisserie chicken. All right, so look at it now. Those egg noodles have swelled up. It's gotten a little bit thick, just the perfect consistency of a nice broth. I'm gonna pull that bay leaf out. And I really love to use rotisserie chicken for many reasons, because it's easy. Sometimes you have some left over, you can make sandwiches out of it, but I like to buy just the plain, no heavy seasoning, because I really like the seasoning that we have in this soup in the recipe. So you can see now it is chocked full of chicken. So this is a really hearty meal. And in terms of salt and pepper, you want to just add a little bit now, and then taste it after it's finished cooking, so that you can make sure you haven't added too much. Okay, so up next is the cheeseburger pot pie. It's gonna be your new favorite. All right, welcome back everybody. And you know what? I'm going back in time, because I used to be so cost effective when I was planning meals for my two sons, my husband. We just always had a good meal, but it might not be over the top in terms of, you know, a beautiful steak and a tossed salad, that sort of thing. So cheeseburger pie is just a great dish, and you know, just the name of it just gets you interested in it. And it's something we do with the children in the summertime. It's in the next cookbook, Generations, and it's just a great opportunity to introduce ingredients that you already know your family loves, but present it in a different way. All right, so I had a little bit I had to do in advance. This is a good lean ground beef. I got it browned in the pan. I added in my Schumann Farm sweet onions, and then I drained it. I love to put a colander in a larger bowl, put a piece of paper towel in the bottom, and just let the fat from this drain out. But really there wasn't that much, but it was enough that you do want it to be dry when you get ready to add the rest of your ingredients. All right, so the next ingredient is dill pickle, and I will have to say that I have to leave that out when I make this for my family. But you know, it's up to you. You can have that or not. But these are dill pickles. I've got ketchup, and I've still got the temperature on this pan so it's warm, because we're going to top it with the cheese in just a minute. All right, I've got yellow mustard. I've got garlic powder, salt, and pepper. All right, so now I'm just going to mix all of this together. And again, I've got the temp on, because when we get this in the pan, and I am using just a regular, not deep dish, but a regular pie plate to do this. It's a 9-inch. All right, so get that good and combined. And I've sprayed the pie plate, so it's ready. All right, so let's add that in. And this is, again, one of the ones where you can have a teaching moment on adding the ingredients and getting things stirred together. And this is American cheese, just American sliced cheese, which most children love. But you could do Swiss cheese, you could do provolone cheese, whatever cheese you would love if you were ordering a cheeseburger. All right, so now we're going to start adding the cheese. And if you get it cold or have it, you know, already pulled apart from the little wrapping that it comes, then it goes on the pie really easily. All right, so that comes together really well. All right. Okay, so now let's talk about the topping. All right, so these are the sheets of crescent dough. So you've got the crescent rolls, and then you've got crescent sheets. So make sure you get the sheet when you do this. And so what I did was take it out, and I started pulling on the edges of it, because what we're gonna do is invert this pie plate so that you've got the right diameter to put it on top. So this should be just about right. So I'm gonna just take my wax paper, and again, once I did that, I put this in the refrigerator so that the dough is easy to work with. I kind of trimmed off the excess when I laid it on top. And you can still, you know, pinch some of this away if you need to. All right, so now I'm gonna just take a fork and I'm gonna crimp the edges. I've also got in front of me an egg that I've beaten because we want it to look like a beautiful sesame bun when we do it. All right, so we're gonna go all the way around with this. And you know, we've tested these recipes so many times. We've done them in our camp program. We had outside testers that didn't know anything about our recipes or our camp program that also tested these recipes. And as a former home economics teacher, we feel like we've given you some really clear instructions on how to make everything that we do. So I've got a pastry brush. And I'm just gonna brush some of this egg wash on top. And this just makes it a really nice golden brown. All right, so it looks just like a bun. We're gonna add some sesame seeds on top. And I've got my oven preheated to 375. And this will bake up and be beautiful. And when we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about being cost effective in your menu planning and show you how you can serve all of this up. So come back with me in just a few minutes. I am so excited about this. Honestly, doesn't this look amazing? And there's nothing about this that makes you think, well, she just went on the cheap today. Absolutely not. The presentation is beautiful, the food is delicious, and you're saving money, which is gonna help out down the road. All right, so let's walk back through what we did today. We started with taco soup, and just look at this, y'all. I mean, the broth is perfect. All the vegetables held up, nothing's out of order here. It just looks great. I've got bowls and spoons there, and always put either a towel or a napkin or something on a handle, so if somebody wants to hold the handle as they're dipping out the soup, they're not gonna burn themselves. So that looks so pretty in our red Dutch oven, and have all kinds of things to go with it. We've got our chips, sour cream, lime wedges, fresh cilantro, so they can get their soup and decorate it any way they want to make it perfect for their taste buds. All right, then we went to the chicken noodle soup, and this too is beautiful. The broth is just perfect. It's loaded with chicken. It is literally a meal in itself, and you've got so much that if you've got more than 8 people, you're gonna have plenty. If you've got less than 8 people, you're gonna put some up and have it for lunch the next day, take it to work. It's just fantastic. And I did a different color bandana over here for the handle. And then the cheeseburger pot pie. Honestly, it just baked up beautifully. It looked just like a bun when it came out of the oven. You know, you can make this the day before and bake it right before you're ready to serve. Just don't do the egg wash and the sesame seeds until right before it goes in the oven. But we've decorated it, garnished it just like you would a hamburger, with the lettuce and extra cheese, more tomatoes on top of it. And here again, plates and forks for that with some additional cheese if you would like. And here it is before you've covered it up. And just see how beautiful it looks with the sesame seeds. And the egg wash really gives it that golden bun look. So I think you're really gonna enjoy this recipe. So we've got a bonus recipe today. This is our company cornbread. So let me walk you through some of the steps that we did for that. preheat the oven to 450, and you don't put your cast iron skillet in until it has gotten to that temperature. You could either use oil, or I like to use bacon drippings. So about a tablespoon in the pan when you put it in the oven. Then once you come to 450, then you get your batter done. A cup of self-rising cornmeal, 2 large eggs, a half a cup of Wesson oil, a half a cup of creamed corn right out of the can, and then 8 ounces of sour cream. So all you're doing is putting that together in a bowl and just mixing it up. And here again, you've got a really hot skillet. We love to use the handle protector just to remind you not to touch the handle. And when you get ready to pour that batter into that hot skillet with the oil, go slow because it's gonna splatter. But it just makes the whole outside of the cornbread so crisp. So I hope you'll enjoy that recipe as well. So I'm helping you out, you're gonna save money, you're gonna be able to do some extra things. And as I always say on the VeryVera show, no matter what you do, do it in good taste and come back and join me next week.